Welcome back. I'm here with Craig Thompson, and we're going to talk about some exciting things, including an award. Craig, thanks so much for joining me.
Great to see you. I can't wait to see you in person sometime soon.
And hopefully without a mask too. Hey, first, before we get in, and if I'm mispronouncing this, I apologize. Ballinran has a Northern Ireland connection. So just tell us where you got the name of your production company.
Well, Ballinran is a village in Northern Ireland where my family's from. My grandmother emigrated to Canada in 1927, and it's now been amalgamated into the town of Kilkeel, but you can still see where the village was way back when. So there's still a road sign, and my grandmother's family was on Ballinran Road.
I love it. Craig, you've been on Amazon Prime Video, Netflix, the History Channel. It just goes on in terms of your productions that you've done. How do you get on these, and how do they get picked up, so to speak, in terms of your productions?
Well, the first thing is it's a very small industry, and I've been in the industry for 26 years now, so you gradually build up a lot of contacts. You don't sell projects for the most part before you make them. You usually pitch the ideas and then sell them to the platforms once they're made. So these platforms rely on independent producers like myself all over the world for their content. They don't produce anything in-house. So there's a pipeline that leads from idea creation to production. In some cases, films are completed, but they're financed using dollars from Canada or the UK or elsewhere, and then you sell a finished program, which is usually sold at a lower rate. So I've done it both ways.
Fascinating. Well, most recently, your production was picked up by a major network inside Wuhan. How did you actually start with that idea?
Well, I've been working in China since 2013. I've built up a lot of contacts. We've shot 2 films there. And when the word came down in early January that something was going on in Wuhan, we had just come back from China. I was there between September and November filming on another film, and I said, we got to get in there. So we tried everything we could do to get a crew in there, but not even Chinese nationals could get into Wuhan. So I reached out on social media and eventually found a Canadian expat who decided not to opt for the evacuation, decided to stay there. And we managed to get him a camera and taught him how to use it. And he went out on the streets starting February 13th. At that time, Peter, nobody had any idea that this was going to come to our shores. It was a strange thing happening in China, and we were merely observers. I've worked for CTV for many years in the past, and I knew the producer of the program, and I knew that he was trying to get access to China. I said, hey, I think we have an idea. So we collaborated with him. It wasn't a sure thing until after we saw the footage, and then we were able to work with W5 on getting it on the air. We turned that film around in 3 weeks from shooting to delivery. It was crazy.
Okay, now how did you get the production out of Wuhan? I understand some of the uploads took possibly even days. How do you actually do that in such a restricted environment?
Well, the first problem that he had was he was not allowed to return to his apartment complex because it was locked down. So he was in his car for the first few nights. So we found him a hotel. And luckily, hotels in Wuhan, they're a very international city, so they have high-speed internet. So when he was not out on the street during the daytime, in the daylight hours, he was in the hotel uploading overnight. So it was slow as molasses through a straw. So it was very, very slow. And eventually we got the data uploaded very slowly from China, and we were editing it as soon as we downloaded it. So every day we would assemble the footage that we got, and eventually we had to say stop because we were missing our deadline, and we had said we'll use what we got.
Amazing. Well, that led to, I believe it's the RTDNA Award. Tell us about that spectacular honor for you, and congratulations. By the way.
Thanks, Peter. RTDNA is the Radio Television Digital News Association. It's the North American association that represents the broadcast journalism industry. So it's an award that's voted for by members of the industry, and we won excellence in innovation for documentaries. So because we had to overcome all of these odds and me directing it from my comfort of my office and not being there, we directed it all over video chat. We had to use a lot of innovation, and at some points we didn't know we were going to succeed. But last month we got the award. We were nominated earlier this year, and it was a tremendous honor. And that video is up on YouTube for free to watch. It's on the CTVW5 YouTube channel.
Well, again, kudos to you, because the nomination alone was spectacular, but to win it is everything. So just in summary, what are you working on next?
Well, we're doing a lot of community stuff because, as you know, Peter, I travel a lot, and in 2019 I was out of the country for 183 days. I've been nowhere since March of last year. So we've turned our skills and attention to supporting a lot of community projects. We started off by doing the Remembrance Day ceremony with Rogers last year. We've been doing a bunch of filming for the Stratford Symphony, Stratford Arts and Culture Collective. So a lot of community projects. We're working on a series with the Community Foundation and the Kiwanis Club called Faces of Diversity, showcasing multiculturalism. But in terms of larger projects, we're working on projects that will be going back into filming next year. And projects, luckily, we had a lot of stuff in the can, so we've been editing all year, primarily on a film that we shot in China and elsewhere with Cirque du Soleil. So we are hoping to have that released in September and October.
Well, that's great. Craig, thanks so very much for joining me, and congratulations once again.
Thanks, Peter. Take care. Have a great day.